Hey, welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna be telling y'all why I'm not in the NFL. This is easily one of the most commented things on all of my videos, so today I figured I'd come on here and tell my story. Kicking for me actually started in 5th grade when we could first play tackle football, and the coach asked if someone could kick the ball, and I grew up playing soccer, so I kind of just started doing it, and it just happened naturally. And then fast forward all the way through high school, I was still kicking, but I was also playing football, basketball, and track. And the funny thing is, when I was playing football in high school, kicking wasn't even my main thing. Playing receiver was. So if I was gonna sign to play college football, I was gonna sign to play receiver. Now I was decent in high school, but I was still a 0-star recruit. I wasn't getting any looks like that, and honestly, I was really short in high school. My freshman year, I was 5'5". I only had 14 catches my senior year, but for 5 touchdowns, I mean, that's like 38% of the catches went for touchdowns, so that's pretty good. But we were pretty good. We ran the ball because we were up on teams, so I didn't really get looked at too much. But hey, I was kicking the ball a little bit. And by the end of senior year, I had a couple football offers, couple basketball offers, and actually one for track as well. Nothing super big, just kind of some NAIA stuff. Now, y'all think I probably took the football offer, but I actually took the basketball and track offer to do basketball and track in college, which obviously some of y'all know that didn't really end up working out. So I ended up going to school at the University of Montana for 3 years, which was kind of a crazy time for me because I'd always done sports my entire life, but at this point I was literally just going to school. I wasn't playing a sport, nothing. I was actually a practice player for the girls basketball team, but that's a whole different story. Now, while I was there, I was trying to walk onto different football teams, different basketball teams, but nothing ever really panned out. Then 2020 came around, and it was kind of weird because at the time I was super introverted. I hated being in front of a camera, which obviously is super ironic because I'm in front of y'all talking right now, but I started posting on TikTok. So I was making videos for a little bit. Nothing was really happening like crazy, but then I ended up making the video that a lot of y'all ended up seeing, which was me reaching out to Destroying. Obviously y'all know D, but I ended up flying down and making a video with D on his channel, which was kind of crazy because I went from like not even posting videos to posting a little bit, and then I was on D's channel just like this. It was definitely a cool experience, but I think the craziest thing that came from all of it is from that shoot, D actually ended up asking me to move down and work for him, which nobody had really gotten that opportunity at that time besides a couple people, so I obviously jumped on the opportunity. I basically put school on pause, dropped everything, moved to Arizona just to try and learn as much as I could. And in the process, right before I moved to Arizona, I ended up tearing my meniscus, which is obviously not super ideal. It was definitely just unlucky timing. I was punting a ball, I ended up slipping, I ended up landing with my knee behind me, and it kind of just popped it. But anyways, I had the surgery, I ended up moving down to Arizona, and I was helping D like run his socials, one-on-ones, Friday Night Lights, and then kind of just coordinating stuff behind the scenes. I ended up working with D for about 6 months, and then I ended up also working with AJ Green, who y'all obviously know as well. I was filming, I was editing, I was kind of just doing the same kind of stuff for AJ. And one day while I was working with AJ, I kind of had the thought, I was talking with David. Y'all know David, obviously he's been filming my videos, he's the owner of Dreamer Outfits, but we were having a conversation like, why don't I go try and play college football again? So I picked up the phone, I called the University of Montana, they somehow picked up, and I ended up getting a tryout because of it. I did well enough at the tryout and ended up with a spot on the team. It's crazy how all of that stuff happened within a year, and then one random thought was like, I should go back and play college football, and then it worked out. At that point I had to move back up to Montana, but I got to play college football in the stadium that I grew up watching football. We got season tickets at Washington Grizzly Stadium, so obviously I grew up watching a lot of Grizz games, so it was cool to be able to be down on that field in the uniform. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all though, I wasn't really that good at kicking at the time either. I'm coming off the knee surgery. I haven't kicked a ball in a game in 4 or 5 years at this point. Honestly, I probably wasn't ready to play college football at that level. Like maybe I was the level of a freshman, but I was going into my senior year. So when they brought in a 6-year transfer from Cal, it was pretty obvious who they were gonna go with at kicker. Now when I got to Montana, I didn't stop posting videos. During fall camp, I would literally go to practice all day, every day, and then recorded 7 videos on our off day so I could still post every day. It was definitely clear that some of the coaches didn't like that I was on social media, and I probably can't repeat most of the stuff that was said to me. One of them even said in a way more colorful way that social media was a waste of my time. So just for him, hit subscribe. For me, football time was always just football, and whenever I had free time, that's when I was able to make videos. So I definitely didn't play as much as I wanted to, but still I got to play for a college football team that went to the quarterfinals, and we ended up losing out in that quarterfinals game, and that was it. That was basically my senior year. I didn't get as much opportunity obviously as I would have liked when I was playing there, but like I said, I wasn't really at that skill level to be at that position. Like I could kick it far at the time, but the ball flight just wasn't pretty, and it wasn't as accurate as it should be. From there, I got to compete at my pro day, which obviously you guys have probably seen clips of me doing my vertical or my 40, and then obviously I got to kick, which was in front of a Jag scout. So that was my first time ever kicking in front of somebody from an NFL personnel, which was definitely a good experience, but it also kind of proved to me that like I needed to put some work in if I wanted to get to the next level. After not getting any calls or any workouts from my pro day, I ended up just going all in on social media. I moved back to Arizona. David and I started filming banger videos, which y'all have obviously seen, but there was still something missing at that point. Yes, I was making videos, but y'all gotta remember, I've never actually worked with a kicking coach up until this point. Everything that I've learned has just been me watching other kickers, just trying to get better on my own, and that was when my first opportunity to work with an NFL kicking coach came up. And this is with former NFL kicker and now kicking coach Shane Graham. He's obviously one of those guys that I saw play in the league, so I had to jump on the opportunity. And looking back at the footage, I definitely look a lot worse than I do now, which is good because I mean it shows the progress, but I was definitely looking just raw at the time. And during the session, Shane and I tried to just dial in on contact, which is arguably the most important part of kicking. A few inches off of contact on the ball will lead to a few few feet down by the post, and we're not trying to have that. From this session, you could tell there was a lot of work to do, but Shane said it best.
I don't think that he's reached his maximum potential yet, because once he reaches that, I think he's going to be up there to compare with some NFL kickers.
After the session, I got to meet up with the guys from TrackMan, which is a system that tells you a bunch of different analytics for field goals. It's the same kind of system that's used in golf, which tells you ball speed, ball height at the line of scrimmage, how far the ball would have been good from, all that and a bunch more. The cool thing about learning all these stats is this is the first time I was able to actually compare what my kicks would look like against NFL kicker numbers. Simon from TrackMan said that the NFL average for ball speed is 71 miles an hour and the height of scrimmage average is around 12 feet. And during the session, I learned that these stats that the NFL averages were actually comparable to my one-step kicks, which was kind of crazy to hear. On the last ball of that session, I hit a ball from 61 that was definitely the best ball of the day and would have been good from 65.
65, huh? Best ball of the day.
If you're able to get that ground zero of your contact on that ball just a hair higher, that would have been good from 74.
It had a ball speed of 74.5 miles an hour and a height of 12.7, which is pretty much those NFL numbers on a 61-yard field goal. This session was definitely eye-opening, and Simon actually gave me my NFL comparison at the time, which he said was Harrison Butker, which is definitely cool because he's one of the guys that I tried to always model my game after.
I believe that if he gets the right coaching and he can put everything together, he should have a chance of playing, you know, pro football.
After the TrackMan session, I ended up working with coaches in Dejas out at AZ Kicking and Training. We worked on a bunch of little things, primarily routine, contact, a bunch of little things that I just needed to get right. And soon after, I even saw an improvement in my TrackMan numbers, hitting a ball with 80.9 miles per hour off my foot, which was like 10 miles an hour over that NFL average.
He has all the tools. I even told Adam the other day, I pulled him aside and I told him, I think I gave you a year to get ready. We had a session, I think our second session, I think I was wrong. I said, you're ready now.
Soon after I posted that video with Shane, I got a DM from Nick Novak, who played in the NFL for a long time and now he's a kicking coach. He told me to come out to San Diego for a session, so that's exactly what I did. When I got there, he started talking about my TrackMan numbers and how he had never seen numbers like that before. But the mission for today, control that power. He also noticed that I zigzag a lot, which means I push my right foot in and then fight back left a lot during my kicks. So that's something we needed to work on during this session as well, because that's just gonna lead to a ton of inconsistencies in my kicks. This was one of the most insightful sessions that I had yet, not just because of the stuff that I learned, but also because of the opportunities that would soon come from it. I have a private workout for you with an NFL team next Thursday at 2 p.m. And one of those opportunities came a few months later when Novak was hosting one of his virtual NFL showcases. Basically, these showcases are all running film footage, and if you do well enough, your footage gets sent to NFL teams so you can potentially get signed or a workout. And this was my first ever competition style kicking ever, so I had to go out there and do my thing. I actually ended up tying for first at that showcase, with my biggest ball being a 60-yard field goal that went over the net behind the post, which Novak said was the first time he'd ever seen that.
Good, 60 over the net.
And with all the guys Novak has come through his fields, all the NFL guys and all that stuff, to be the first to do that, that was definitely cool. Winning that showcase was kind of the first time that I ever got to go out and prove myself that I could actually kick at the professional level, but there was still so much more to learn and so much work to do. And this would be a great time to tell y'all that there is no sponsor on today's video, but I did compile all the knowledge that I've learned throughout my whole kicking journey in my course. So if y'all want to support me, but also learn everything that I wish I knew earlier in my kicking journey, you can do that with the link in the description or go on my site, adambotkin.com. And because you're watching this video right now, use code ADAMNFL and you're gonna get 20% off. Anyways, a few months later after the NFL showcase, I had another big kicking competition come up, but this one was for $20,000. $20,000's on the line right here on this kick.
Just handing him money.
It's one of the biggest balls I've ever seen.
I gathered up 13 of the best kickers I could find, and today they compete for $10,000. Hey, but hold on.
This was the destroying $20,000 kicking competition. If you haven't watched that video, you gotta watch it because it's crazy.
How you feeling, Adam?
I'm tired, I've been chasing those. I ain't gonna lie, my throws are money.
I thought my dog played soccer in Germany. Don't tell me he got a first try.
Come on.
My gosh. Adam tags in, gets the first try. That's crazy. Adam lit right now.
Arguably the biggest thing that came from that day though wasn't from the competition itself, but from someone that was there. Matt Prater actually pulled up to the competition. When he came up to me and already knew who I was, that was definitely a crazy moment for me. Prater and I ended up kicking with each other a bunch of different times after the competition, so he became one of those guys that helped me dial in on the little things. Plus it gave me the opportunity to learn from somebody who's literally played the position that I'm trying to get to in the NFL for 18 years at this point. After learning all the new information and just getting better at kicking in general, it was time for me to link back up with Simon from TrackMan to see if my numbers improved. But during this session, we had a couple goals. 1, break 2 records today, ball speed and good from distance. And 2, run an accuracy test to see if I can be consistent. It obviously wasn't gonna be easy to just break the records on a machine that the best kickers in the world have already kicked on. But after a few kicks, it happened and I ended up breaking the record for ball speed on TrackMan at 82.9 miles an hour, which to my knowledge is still the ball speed record.
Well, we got one record.
That was speed?
That was speed. 82.9
9.
I almost retired after I saw that kick.
Your height of line of scrimmage was 8 feet.
Yeah, that's fine, as long as they didn't jump. And now that I had that record, it was time for me to try and crank the ball and see if I can break that good from record. And after a few kicks, this happened. That one's gotta be decent.
Oh!
It's gotta be decent.
Well, you're officially tied.
Uh-oh.
Good from 74.
Hey.
And there's
Look at the flag post. Look at the flag post right now. Rolling video. Look at the flag post.
Holy shit, dude.
No wind. Cut out right there.
Man, look at that ball. Dude, that's crazy. Honestly, I don't think you could hit a ball any better than that.
So I didn't actually break the record, but I tied the furthest ever good from recorded on TrackMan. And who did I tie with? Harrison Butker, who Simon literally gave me as an NFL comp 8 months before. Harrison actually reached out one time and said he saw the vids, so that was pretty cool too. And after swinging big for those records, we ended up running the accuracy test where I went 5 for 5 and proved that I could swing big, swing fast, but then also control that power and be accurate. Which is good because about a month later, I had another big showcase come up, but this time it wasn't for the NFL, it was for the UFL. This one was gonna be huge because there was gonna be actual UFL coaches and GMs in attendance, and this is gonna be the first time that I've kicked in front of any type of team personnel since my pro day. And long story short, I didn't do the best at this showcase. They ended up having us use a different type of ball during the showcase, which kind of threw us all off, but at the end of the day, I gotta make the kicks with the ball that they give us. It definitely would have been great to do well at this because you never know what opportunities could have came from this UFL showcase, but no calls ended up coming from it. Until I did get a call, but not the one you're thinking. This call was an invite to a private UFL workout with 2 UFL GMs. This is my chance to prove that I can actually kick a ball to these UFL guys, especially because these UFL GMs were at that showcase that I didn't do the best at. My leg was definitely feeling good this day and the ball was coming off my foot really well. And also during this showcase, we were going live snap hold, which if you guys have been watching for a while, you guys know that I like going live snap hold better because you don't really think about anything, you just play ball. Plus you got to do it that way in a game anyway, so I guess it's better to like it that way, right? And the one holding for me during this session was Austin McNamara, who's actually punting for the Jets when I'm recording this video, so that's actually pretty cool. Even though I did well at the workout, there wasn't any calls that came from it besides one email that told me I was on one of the team's short lists just in case of injury or performance. So it was a step forward, but I just had to keep getting better and continuing to learn. After about a month after that workout, I got an opportunity to kick at an NFL stadium. Now this wasn't for any type of NFL workout or working out with a team, but I was able to get into SoFi for a couple hours. First made kick on an NFL field. Hopefully many more to come. I also didn't know that SoFi wasn't a dome. It's actually just like a canopy that sits over it. So it was actually pretty cold in there when I was kicking, which was surprising. Why can I see my breath? Can y'all see that? Regardless, this was definitely a cool experience because I had never gotten to actually see what my kicks look like on an NFL field, see what it's like kicking in an NFL stadium. And obviously it would look different on game day with people in the crowd and all that stuff, but it was still a really cool opportunity. And I think the coolest part of it all was to see how my ball flight looked on an NFL field. It's hard to judge sometimes because obviously I'm at high school fields a lot because it's what I have access to, but seeing it on NFL posts, it really looked no different. So it's kind of a reassurance that I can do this at the highest level. And y'all know me, I obviously had to try and hit the NFL record 66 in an NFL stadium.
It's overtime and this is a game-winning kick. Wait. Did that go in?
It hit the camera, but it's good. And now that I finally had experience kicking in an NFL stadium, it was finally time for me to get an NFL workout, right? Well, actually, yes, it was. I got a text from Novak one day telling me he had a private workout for me with an NFL team, which meant I only had about 3 days to prepare, but that's why we always just got to stay prepared, right? At this point, it was crazy for me to even say that I had a private workout with an NFL team, but all I had to do was go out there and control what I could control, which was put the ball between the posts. Now, when I showed up for that workout, there was one variable I had no control over: the weather. It had been dumping rain in San Diego for those 3 days, and then when I showed up, it wasn't raining, but we had 16 to 32 mile an hour winds going directly left to right, which obviously is not ideal. No matter what I did, I put that ball up and it got yanked to the right. But thankfully, during the actual workout, we went live snap hold, and I didn't allow the wind to mess with me either. I went 11 for 12, and the one that I did end up missing, it ended up starting dead straight and then got yanked by the wind. But that's okay, because even on that kick right there, when the ball left my foot, the coach even said that that's a great ball. So I'm gonna take that miss. Ever since this workout, y'all have been asking relentlessly which team I worked out for. They kind of asked me to keep it hush at the time, but it's kind of been a year. They've signed a new kicker since. I hid the logo in one of my thumbnails one time. I'll leave it at that. I'm not gonna say it. It's not me. It's y'all figure it out. Let me know if y'all have any guesses down in the comments. Shout out to Novak for getting me that workout though, because he definitely went out of his way to do it and allow me to show what I could do. This is the first time I felt in control of all of my kicks and that all the work that we've been putting in was coming together. A week after that private workout, I had another NFL showcase, but this time it was in front of NFL personnel. This showcase was definitely another good opportunity for me to go out and show what I can do. Now, I didn't do the best. I did okay, but I wish I would have done better, but it's okay because I feel like I still showed what I could do. I showed the flashes that I needed needed to, and I made some good connections. But obviously nothing really happened from the private workout or from that showcase. Otherwise, y'all would have known about it by now. And that obviously brings us to today, where I'm still working, I'm still training, I'm still showing you guys the process, and my team and I have been working hard to dial in these videos and get y'all the best content possible in the process. One thing y'all always ask is if I'd stop making content once I get to the league or I get an opportunity to play pro football again, and the simple answer is no. I've got a great team that works with me now, so obviously I wouldn't be able to travel the country to be able to like film these high school games and stuff like that. The content would definitely shift a little bit, but I'm not gonna stop making content, bro. If anything, the content's gonna just get better, because obviously my team's still working on some videos right there, but then I also get to document the process behind the scenes. But hey, I just kind of wanted to come on here and kind of give y'all an update on my story, because I know we have a ton of new people here since I've told my story before. And the crazy thing is, statistically, over 80% of y'all watching this video right now are not even subscribed. If each of y'all watching right now just hit that button for me one time, we'd be at 1 million subs just like that. The NFL right now is at like 15 million subs. So imagine if we pass that. I feel like they gotta give me a contract if we pass 15 million subs. So make sure y'all hit that button. Nah, but seriously, I appreciate y'all's support throughout the entire process. Y'all have been there since 2020 all the way up until now. So I really appreciate you guys for showing support the entire time. I wouldn't be in this position right now if it weren't for you guys. And I hope I get to make that I got signed to the NFL video very soon. Not even joking though, we got some crazy videos coming up soon. So make sure y'all do hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.